I love and hate spinning, and not whee this kind of spinning. No, no. I mean spinning a story, like what the news media do, or what like every, you know, person who writes and posts stuff on Twitter tries to do. Right? Spin a story to fit your narrative. I'm talking about that. I love and hate it. I love it because I'm really good at it. I hate it because it exists and it's just stupid. And because I can do it, I can spot when someone is BSing, spinning a story to fit whatever they're trying to do for their own benefit, whether they like to admit it or not, whether they're aware of it or not. Oh, no. I know another good example. M just reminded me from chat. So M, I'm just gonna real brief recap. So last time I told you a story about how M was selling their PS4, PS3, PS5, selling the PlayStation on Craigslist. Okay. And for some reason, the Craigslist person who wanted to buy the PlayStation was like, yeah, you gotta come deliver to my house. And I was like, okay, I'll come deliver to your house. Turns out it's out in the middle of nowhere. Starts to get kind of scary. The farm is kind of scary, kind of old, run down and stuff. And then the person's like, come into my house, and I want to try, test to see if it works. And then M is like, like heightened, alert. And because like this guy wants me to go in the house, and like, how do I defend myself? And then suddenly like this other shady person comes up, and this other shady person comes up and is like, it's like, okay, suddenly there's two people. There's two people now. It's like, how two shady people in a house, in a shady house. Maybe it's probably like a meth lab. Let me like just, how do I defend myself if they suddenly decide to jump me, right? So that was M's story, and then M was even like, oh yeah, but what they didn't know was I had a backup in the car, right? And if the backup in the car, and I told that person, hey, if I don't get out in 5 minutes, call the cops, right? Like M had this plan ready to go, right? Ready to deflect, defend off, and take care of any situation, right? In this shady meth lab type of place. And here's what I did. I said, okay, so what you're saying is a lonely old man in an old farmhouse invited you into his humble abode and asked you politely to test out the PlayStation before he pays for it in cash. And once you tested it and the PlayStation was working properly, he paid you and bid you a fond farewell. Is that what you said? Okay, that's a way better spin example. Yeah, that's probably one of my most proudest spin examples ever. I can't believe I'm so dumb I didn't think of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Anyways, I learned it from my mom. Here's that story. And immediately I was like, once I realized it. I don't remember if I was in the car or in the shower or whatever. You ever get those moments where like you get this flashback and you flash back something really cringy or something like you hate about yourself, if you're me, and you just go, and you just try to like yell it out of your headspace in the moment. That's what I was doing. Because like, I hate realizing I'm anything like my mother. Like she's everything I've strived and worked my whole life not to be, even though I am literally like a mirror image of her right now. Not this cute though. But starting in middle school, we moved. Like I was in one city in elementary school, and we moved to another city in middle school. Riveting, very exciting, konata. Let's keep going. Something district lanes, like the districts, how they carve out the map of the districts. And according to the district rules and the school rules, I couldn't actually attend that middle school until several months. It was something ridiculous, like 8 or 9 months or 11 months, something like that, until the district lines on the map was officially redrawn because like we moved to this new house, and you know, before a certain date I'm supposed to go to this school. After a certain date I'm supposed to go to this school. Well, my mom just wanted to get me into this school, right? She's looking out for me. I'm making her out to look like an asshole. I'm the asshole, but so she's trying to help me get into just this school, so I don't have to like remake my friends and like get socially traumatized and isolated and stuff like that. I did that stuff anyway, so that made no difference in the end. But antisocial son of a bitch. But my mom Karen'd her way up to the principal, and got a meeting with the principal in her office, and we went in. The principal's name was Randall. Yeah, I know, right? What a douchey name. Randall, like that douchebag from the cartoon Recess, and not like the good kind, not like the anal douche, but like the bad kind of douche. So I remember, I vaguely remember, I have like no memory of my past, but I remember sitting there as a kid, right, like middle school kid, I don't know, like 13 or something like that, 13 years old, 12. Sit in the chair, and my mom's like pulling all the Karen stops, and Randall's like, no, I can't do it, like, you know, these are the rules and the lines and the whatever, like bureaucracy. Your kid can just come after like 9 months or something. And then my mom's like, oh, but the friends, and it's gonna be hard on him, and right, like trying to reason with fucking Randall here, and it's just going through this infinite loop, right? And then my mom at one point is just like. It's just like, okay. My mom asked me to sit outside, so I went past the door outside the principal's office and just sort of sat outside, across in a chair, like looking at the door of the principal's office. And now my mom and Randall's having a 1v1. I don't see anything that's happening in there. Like 8 minutes later, they walk out, and I'm sitting down, I'm watching like. And Randall is apologizing to my mom as they're walking out. And everybody else in the office is like staring, like they just witnessed a crime. And I'm in here, right? Like, Randall walked out first, showing my mom out. So like my mom's behind Randall. I'm like looking around. I was like, what's everybody looking at? You know, they start walking out, and I can start seeing my mom's face. And my mom's glasses are off. She wears glasses. We all wear glasses. Terrible eyes. Mom's glasses are off. And I look a little closer, and her eyes are red. And she's sniffling. And I'm like, oh my God. My mom is fake crying. Because that's what she was. She was fake crying. She was literally like option A, B, C, D, E, right? Like logic points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to a billion. Nothing was working. Infinite loop of argument. Okay, so Konata, step outside. And she just starts bawling, crying. It's like, I'm not leaving until you put my kid in the school. And I'm going to make a fucking scene and cry, and everybody's going to look at you and weird. And it worked. And it fucking worked. So, yeah. Like you can bet if I'm like in some argument that I really want to win, and I'm not winning and I'm losing, like logically, yo, all bets are off. There's no pride. I'm gonna get what I want. I'm just gonna start bawling, crying, making a scene. I don't think it'll work as well as my mom did. All right. I think I'll start bawling, crying, and then I'll just get punched in the face.